I can run through. So we picked up the end of
Well, don't everybody speak up at once. Okay. So,
I was gonna say
on last week's episode, we found our. I'm out of lead. We found our adventurers camping at the spot where they had ended off before. Dre's character, gosh, whatever. Can't remember her name for the life of me. It's right here in front of me. Yes, I can. Hesa and Laverna had a wonderful little chat where Hesa had casted Detect Thoughts and was able to read a little bit of Laverna's mind and kind of give her like a future reading, while everybody else just kind of set up camp and did their own thing. Bardrin was training his newfound Displacer Beast companion. And as the night went on and Hesa and Laverna were finished, Laverna...
Well,
to be continued next time.
What happened?
You disappeared.
I disappeared?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just poofed.
I know. I also noticed that it turned off the freaking music too. Okay, there's that back. Maybe.
You were talking about like the whole entire Hesa and everything else.
Can you guys see my screen?
Can you hear us?
What is happening?
Is Angie?
Oh, there you go. Yep. Gone again.
Welcome back.
Rissa, can you hear us?
Nope.
Nope. Same bat time, same bat channel, kids.
Whoa, what's going on?
Thinking it don't like the music.
It's like, nope, not today.
Well, he had said he had to reset up his
Come
computer.
again.
Or she had to reset the whole thing or something like that, which is why we started a little late.
Am I still okay? Am I back?
Hello.
Can you hear us?
The first meme of the night.
Yes.
I think.
I had to beat Shannon and stuff on it. I'm like,
now I don't know what's happening. What the fuck?
Thought about doing a hard reboot, maybe?
I love these so much.
we were talking bad about the computer and stuff overheating, and it's probably like, no, not again, not today.
No, I'm blaming Discord. So
fine for all of us.
Well, every time that I pop it out, like pop the chat out of Discord and move it over to a different monitor, it decides to screw up. So I am blaming Discord.
Yeah, it probably did not like that. Discord's like, I don't like other screens.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on with it right now. So I left it in the chat inside of Discord and just moved Discord over because I'm like, okay, we're not doing this. What the heck is happening? Why is this happening to me? Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
I may need to go reset my router. Oh, I'm going to do a speed test real fast because I don't know what the hell is happening.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can now.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because I started doing the recap, and then you're like, oh, well, I guess no one's responding, and then like started going into it. I was like, all right, it's probably not a great sign.
We all just kind of just went, okay.
Rissa's like,
No, then
no.
yeah, I didn't, well, no, I didn't know that because I couldn't hear you. So I
Right.
didn't know. I was actually like, does anybody want to do it? And then there was silence. I'm like, well, geez, don't everybody speak up at once.
Yeah, we were starting to listen to Ahti speak, and you're like, no.
Ahti's like, okay.
Ahti is
DM
very
has
quiet in
spoken.
general. I had to turn him all the way up. Like, you're very hard to hear, friend.
See, I'm pulling 143 download and 10 gig and 10 megabytes upload, so I should be fine on internet. I don't know what the hell's happening, other than it hates me. But I also did have it because I had it like moved out from underneath my desk. It was unplugged from power for the last couple of days. Sometimes with this PC, I don't know why, but if it's like unplugged from power and fully like shuts down, has no juice in it, when I boot it back up, I run into issues for a little bit until it like stretches its legs, says, "Okay, fine, I'm awake."
It's just Discord that's having the problem, though, right?
As far as I can tell.
It could be when you're playing the music, it might be overloading your sound card, or at least in the version of being like, it's like, where is this coming from? And then it's like, nope, Discord, go bye-bye.
Okay, well then,
Oh, shit. Oh.
see, you guys are still there, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What the fucking hell?
Is that the lady you were telling me about? Oh, nice. Oh, that's good. I think,
She froze.
yeah, I was like,
I'm
ma'am, this is a
losing.
Wendy's.
She's really good at the staring contest.
You know what? It's all because she changed her name to Chaos, so it's like,
True.
let's go. So, anybody else playing Baldur's Gate 3?
We were talking about that and stuff when you were gone.
Ah, of course, when I'm gone.
Yep.
I have not
I'm hyped
picked it
for
up
it.
yet.
I'm gonna make me a Dragonborn. That's just gonna, I don't know, be something amazing. Just so excited.
I'm still sucked in with Diablo 4.
Right?
Diablo 4, though. I played so much of the intro of that game, just enjoying the first little bit of it. I haven't been able to touch it recently, but it made me so happy.
Yeah, or like that.
Whoa.
She's back.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Maybe.
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 can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, now.
Robo Rissa, we can hear you.
Am I a robot?
Well, you were a little bit and stuff. You were kind of cutting out a
You
little
kept
bit.
cutting in and out like it was broken speech.
But it seems like it fixed it.
We hope.
Sing us a song of your people.
I have no idea what's going. I just did a quick reboot because sometimes reboots fix everything, but apparently it does not.
Rip.
Hang on, we're just do. I'm gonna do it until I figure out what's going on. I'm just gonna hop back into Discord through my phone.
Man, I don't know why, but when you said "Sing me the song of your people," I almost just went.
Some Big Hero 6.
Sing it,
Right.
it was good.
La, 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 la.
Okay, we're gonna try it this way. Ati, go ahead and continue with your recap, please.
All right. So, based off of where you left off, Heisa had just swindled Laverna using detect thoughts to find out a little bit about it. So we found out that Laverna had hit, I think, about 30 floors already. So she was subconsciously surprised at how quickly we had made it and caught up to her, not realizing that we had only done like 3 floors. After we had that, we all kind of did our short rest stuff. Bardren was training the displacer beasts. Everybody else was kind of just relaxing, doing their own thing. During the first watch, Ahti and Bardren were sitting out, and they kind of Ahti had picked up on this like dripping noise, and when they did the swap out for the watch, he had informed Zuki and Eric that he had noticed some weird noises coming on. During their watch, Zuki was able to perceive an additional a little bit of that, and they just found this little pool in the ceiling of the cave that we were in that was kind of like this mirror, and we started screwing with it, trying to figure out what it was. Heisa made the mistake of trying to magic. What was it? She tried to detect magic, right? I think that's what it was.
Yeah. She was trying to use her her crystal ball to contact the other plane to try to figure out what kind of magic it had.
Which was a bad move because she basically was scarred from images she ended up getting out of there. We then decided that the only way to move forward was to go through the portal. So Bardren, being the adventurer that he was, ended up jumping straight through the portal, arriving into a cavern filled with gold. At which point Eric had thrown up a rock with a cord attached to it to test that it was safe to go through, at which point we all went through. As soon as we got on the other side, Bardren had warned us, because he had accidentally touched a piece of gold whenever he had arrived, that it all duplicated. So we all did our best to avoid any gold as we were going through. Kind of counterintuitive for some of our party members, specifically Zuki, with the thief kind of mentality, trying to avoid that urge to grab any of the treasure. We got about 3/4 of the way through the room, and then all of a sudden everything just started duplicating anyways, so we had to run out of there, which was a narrow escape for Zuki and I think Heisa. At which point we got to the stairs and went up to our next floor there, which was filled with a bunch of chests. And all of us were already paranoid, specifically Bardren. In his previous time as an adventurer, he's encountered several mimics, so he was already pretty suspective. And lo and behold, the room was full of mimics, one of which had a key to open the door on the far end. So we proceeded to begin combat with the mimics, which was going pretty well. Heisa, having recovered from the crystal ball effects, ended up using Summon Greater Demon, which ended up being really well for the first round because the Greater Demon took out quite a few of the mimics. But one of the mimics managed to knock her unconscious, at which point we lost control of the Greater Demon and it began to turn on the party. Luckily for us, it only had a couple rounds of combat before it disappeared. Otherwise, we probably would have all died. And we ended last session after recovering the key and kind of licking our wounds on the far side of the room.
That was a really good recap. Go ahead and take some DM inspiration for this game. You can add a D10 to any roll that you so choose.
Delightful.
And I literally mean in any roll. Like, it doesn't have to just be like combat or attack, or you can add that to any roll.
Perfect.
And so yeah, Wyatt and Julia, that's what you missed last session. They to kind of like give like a greater like aspect of these mimics that they fought. There were 15 fucking mimics in this room.
15?
Holy shit!
We were kicking ass though. Bardren, I think, he took out like 2 or 3 in one turn because he went Battle Master. So like,
Yeah, he.
Nice.
It was like,
Yeah.
I would like to rage, and he just did.
People special.
Yeah, no, it was all a really good session. I was a little worried that maybe 15 mimics would be too much, but it turned out pretty well. The only one that really was in danger was Heisa. I know everybody else kind of took some damage, but I think the only one that was really in danger was Heisa.
I wasn't in danger
until
until the
Heisa
fucking greater
died.
dimmer.
Well, and that was the thing is she knocked out, and then her demon turned on us, and that's where it really got wiry. I got knocked down to 22 health because he blasted me out of the sky.
Yeah,
Ooh.
his attacks were
That's
doing like
right.
31 damage per hit.
I was a roasted chicken.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because it was whatever
Ice is
demon
over
she
here, like-
summoned was fucking broken. It had, I think she said it had like 130 fucking health, and
Yeah.
it had like 6 legendary attacks that all did 31 cone damage.
Oh no.
It was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. Pretty much
Yeah,
like
it-
Heisa's like, this is too easy. Let me make it challenging for you. I'm just gonna sleep over here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that greater demon, it kind of threw a wrench in the middle of my plans, but also didn't at the same time. I think it kind of just aided things off along the way a little bit better.
Oh, one of
So-
the key points I missed was that not only was she knocked unconscious, the fucking mimic ate her. She was hidden in one of the mimics after she went unconscious.
That's right. I had to rip it open. I flew down as a roasted chicken down to her, smoking hot, and ripped it open and pulled her out of it.
Oh my.
Yep, she suffered some emotional trauma.
We
Yeah.
all suffered that too.
So, picking up right there, you guys, before moving on, you didn't even investigate the door. You all, because of the damage that some of you took, especially Hesa, you all decided to just kind of camp there. Right now, I'm going to say that Hesa is on top of her dog inside of her little tent thing that she's got set up on top of it, and I would imagine that Barjan would be tending to her, making sure that she gets back to full health. Laverna, I'm gonna kind of take over her character just a little bit, and she's there with the rest of you. You guys had set up camp and you took your rest, regained some health, and kind of got your bearings back together. So now with everybody sitting in that room, just finishing up your long rest and getting some of your health back. What would you guys like to do?
So we're still in the same room, and we've camped, we're rested, and now we're deciding what the next move is.
Right, and it seems very apparent to all of you that you have two choices. You can either, or three choices technically. You can either stay where you're at forever, or you can go back the way you came, back into the Harry Potter Gold Room, or you can venture through the door that you just obtained the key for.
Oof. I don't like any of that. I'm imagining, is there any way that maybe we could do like a perception check or something, see if we can maybe hear or sense anything beyond the locked door?
Sure, I'm curious on that too.
Let's
If
go.
whoever wants to roll, if all of you, if you want to roll to help out, I'll add the numbers together to see kind of what you all put together. But yeah, whoever wants to roll, either perception or insight.
Oh, I'm going to do insight then because my perception's garbage.
I don't know who just rolled. That was a persuasion.
Ah. Don't mind Bird Brain. He fried.
Nothing.
Oh man, bad rolls are still here today.
I got a 20 in insight.
Nice.
I got an 8 in perception.
Ooh.
A 12 in
Right,
perception
like,
from
not
a
good.
T.
So everybody who rolled under a 10, so Ren and Zuki, as you're kind of like listening around to see if you can hear anything, you can't like nothing really stands out to you. You can't. What the eerie thing is like, you can't even hear like wind moving or air like circulating. It, although like I wouldn't say that you are complaining about the temperature right now, but it does seem odd that you can't like hear or feel like wind moving or anything. You guys don't really hear anything going on.
Hmm.
Ati and Arik, the both of you, especially I would say Ati or Arik, um, with your bird-like senses, something seems to be standing out from behind the door. It's almost like a familiar sound. Like you're pretty sure that you can hear birds chirping from behind that door. And Ati, you can't hear it as prominently as Eric can, but you from time to time, like spaces in between, you hear like just soft little chirps coming from behind the door.
Eric kind of starts chirping a little himself in response, and he turns to the party. I think I hear birds chirping behind this door. It's faint, but I could definitely, yeah, I definitely hear birds.
Birds?
Yeah, I don't know how many or what type or what it is, but there's definitely birds behind this door.
Or at least something that appears to be birds behind this door.
Indeed, considering we just dealt with mimics, we should definitely be hesitant. But do you all think we should go through the door? I certainly don't feel like going back to the treasure room of death.
It really, really ekes me turning away good loot, but considering what happened, I'd say we proceed.
Do you all agree? Should we go through the door?
I agree.
I agree.
Okay, let's go through the door.
And I don't remember who had the key.
I think Hesa had it because she
No,
was
she was
grabbed, I think,
unconscious.
by the mimic that had it.
No, the mimic with the key was a different one.
Oh,
Archer
okay.
Yeah.
carried
I
her,
think it
put
was
her in the
Laverne.
dog. That's yeah.
Oh yeah.
Laverne did
Yeah,
like
it was
this
Laverne.
sweet like slide move to pick up the key on the way to the door.
That's right.
You said Darjan did?
No, Laverna.
Laverna. Oh, yeah, that's right. She did. That's it. So, with agreement, Laverna does get up and she walks over, holding the key, kind of cautiously as she looks at the key and opens the door. She looks back at you guys for reassurance that yes, this is the way that you want to go. And she takes the key and sticks it into the lock. And as she turns it, you hear the tumblers inside of the lock move. You hear that soft thud, knowing that the lock has been moved. As she grabs the door handle and pulls the door open, as the door opens, it's really bright for a second. Like, most of you would have to shield your eyes with how bright this light is as it comes into the room. But as your vision starts to set and the brightness starts to go away because your eyes are adjusting, what you see through the doorway appears to be a forest covered in snow. There's snow everywhere. It does not appear to be snowing, but the ground and the trees are considerably covered in snow. You can hear the chirping of birds that both Ark and Ati could hear a lot louder now as that sound comes in through the threshold into the dungeon that you're in. What do you do next?
Eric looks at this bright, sunlit room, feels the cool air on his feathers, and after being fricasseed, he finds it to be great relief. He takes a deep breath of the chill air. Oh, bitter is the cold, sharp like the bite of fine steel. Snowflakes fall like tears, and he steps in through the doorway.
Ahti would follow in, trying to kind of scout out what else is going on in this new room, what threat there may be.
Ren would follow behind pretty similarly to Ahti, while looking around, watching the surrounding area, kind of waiting for something to come out of the forest, trying to be ready.
As you step through the threshold and you feel the snow crunch underneath your feet as you take your steps, one thing to note is that going from one room to the next, the temperature hasn't increased or decreased at all. It is still a rather comfortable temperature. You don't feel cold. As you step out further into the forest, is there anybody left inside of the dungeon, or have you all exited?
I think all of us is
Yeah, I think we're all in the
Okay.
in the snowy woods.
Who would be the last one out?
Probably Ren. Slow
Okay,
climb,
perfect.
but hesitant to go into the snow.
Ren, and in fact, like, you are hesitant to kind of go into the snow as you're standing there at the threshold, kind of looking down at it, when very swiftly the door behind you swings closed and kind of just yeets you face forward into the snow. And as you land into the snow, this is when you notice a temperature difference. The snow is indeed cold.
Ren kind of crunches the snow a little bit in their hands and lets it kind of melt there against their hands, and stands up and looks around, and then follows after everybody. Very, very confused and concerned.
You see little Ren running through the snow.
Nice.
As you guys venture further into the woods, it almost feels like there's a little bit of familiarity, as it looks like the snowy woods that led you up to Snowdown. You don't really find, I'll say, like, as you guys left the dungeon, you probably paced a good like 30 feet into the woods. Nothing at this point is really standing out. It just seems like a part of the forest. What would you guys like to do next?
I would even say that Eric is a little distracted because he's used to open mountains and skies. He doesn't like being in dark dungeons, so he's just kind of a little bit, oh, everything, it's nice, it's bright, it's open. So he's just kind of scanning the horizon, looking in the trees, listening to the birds. So he's just really not quite paying attention right now.
Okay. Ahti, what are your thoughts on this?
Ahti would still be on edge. The last time we were in this type of setting, like you mentioned, we were attacked by the spectral horse rider and discovered a cult. So he's definitely looking for anything out of the ordinary. I would say he'd have his bow out at the ready.
Okay. Zuki, what about you?
I'm in the same boat as kind of like Ahti, where it's like being concerned, definitely walking cautiously through the snow, hair standing up, very much standing up on end, kind of just dagger or rapier out, and just kind of like scanning the horizons and stuff, tree line. Just
Okay,
looking for going from inside to outside and not detecting temperature.
All right, and Ren, what are your thoughts?
Ren would just slap their shield into the push their shield into the snow and just lay up against it. Try to stay warm after eating a face full of snow.
Oh. I'm going to present you guys a couple of options. You may either attempt to search around the forest, maybe go in one direction or another. You guys are more than welcome to split up if you would like to, or you can search around like the trees and stuff. As far as your characters right now can tell, nothing seems to be happening out of the ordinary other than you can all notice the difference of like there doesn't seem to be any temperature unless you touch the snow.
I would say that Eric's wings are twitching and he turns to his fellow party members. Should I take flight? Should I scout around a little bit? Maybe get a lay of the land? Or should we stick together?
I think probably getting aerial view is a good idea, but stay close.
Mm-hmm. Does everyone concur?
Sounds
Yes.
like a good idea. Not bad at having good information.
So Eric stretches his wings out, and even though they're soot covered and a little frayed and fringed, he feels very excited, and he leaps into the air and beats his great wings and just allows himself to just jet quickly up into the air about a good 15, 20 feet, and kind of just starts circling around where his party members are and getting a view of what he might see. Should I roll insight or?
Well, so right now if you jet up about like 15, 20 feet, that's going to put you like right at the top of the tree line. And from that vantage point right there, all you can see is just more forest.
Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and rise up quicker and up higher about, now I'd say a good 40 feet, and just kind of go around the same circle pattern out and just kind of see what I see.
Okay. Do you have like a fly limit? Like, is there a limit to how high you can go?
60 feet.
You can go 6 feet. Okay, so that's actually pretty decent. All right. How high did you want to rise?
Right now I'm at 40.
40. Go ahead and either make insight or perception.
14.
From the height that you are at right now, it does appear that the forest does go on for quite some ways. However, as you kind of like spin around and pan the air and pan all around you, you can see the forest go off in either direction for probably a good 3-4 miles. And I'm going to say that you can see this with your keen sight. But past that, you really can't see anything. And it's almost as if like nothing exists past that point.
And so I'm not seeing anything like any structures, just basically forest, maybe mountains off in the distance.
Not even mountains. All you see is forest.
Just forest. No structures. Okay. It wouldn't do to go out further, nor would it do well to go up higher. Doesn't seem like anything's around. So what direction do we go from? And the door that we came through, what is that door attached to? Was it like a wall or a cliff face? Was it just there and now gone?
Yep, it's still there. It just seems to be in the middle of the forest.
But not attached to anything like a wall or anything, more like a portal.
Mm-hmm.
I fly back down to my party members, and I convey to them, I've searched within a good distance of 40 miles either way, or 40 feet, and all I see is forest. It's forest for as far as the eye can see. I see no structures, just snow and forest. I don't know. From this point, where do you guys think we should go? Should we head in a certain direction?
DM, is there any discernible like tracks or like a path or anything that we would have had from where the door's at?
You can see like your footprints coming from the direction that you came in from leaving the door. There doesn't seem to be any other footprints in the snow.
I would say we trying to head for the tree line. Being out in the open is probably not the wisest idea.
Ren, when the door slammed on you, did we check to see if it's still openable? Is it locked? Is it now secured, or can we go back the way we came?
I actually didn't check it. I felt pretty foolish getting smacked by a door, so.
Right? I imagine this is a point where we have to decide what direction we head in and how far we go. Do we have any way to mark our trail as we go other than footprints? Because footprints can get lost in the snow if it begins to snow again.
I mean, if you guys want to construct something or leave something behind or leave some kind of marker of some kind to let you know that you have, like, you've been here.
Eric actually has on him very much a lot of cloth from his robes as a monk. And so he begins to rip small strips off of his robe to tie on branches within their line of sight from the door, so that whatever direction they go in, they can at least maybe have markers.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll say that you can basically do that whenever you feel necessary.
Okay.
So which direction would you guys like to head?
I guess just forward away from the door.
What way does the door face?
So I mean, being in the forest, like technically that would probably be hard to like
Is there
discern on direction, but I would say like the direction that the door is facing, like if you want to consider that like technically north to make things easier, we can say that.
Yeah, let's face from the door and head away from the door.
Okay. And Ren, you were about to say something.
Same thing. I was gonna pretty much say the same thing, so we're good.
Oh, okay. So what I'm gonna do from here is say that you guys travel in that direction for quite a bit. Nothing really changes. The forest just seems to be more foresty as you go deeper into it. You don't find any tracks. After hiking through the snow for at least a couple of miles, you do see something that starts to come up. And it gets more and more apparent that what you're seeing like almost seems to be like a wall of smoke. As you get closer to this wall of smoke that spans off in both directions for as far as you can see. But the closer and closer you get to this smoke wall, you notice that it's almost as if the world just drops off right there. Kind of like that this forest has an end that you can't get past.
And is it like a complete wall of smoke?
Yes, it going up and down, up and down, side to side.
Could Ahti make an Arcana check to see if he can determine what type of magic's at play here?
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty weak. A 9.
Ooh. May I also attempt?
Yeah. Let the both of you do it together. Assist one another.
We also got a 9. That's right.
Gamer.
That's right.
So the both of you you can't really like discern what type of magic it is, but this is like your first time feeling that the type of magic that you are dealing with seems pretty dark, almost darker than anything you've ever felt.
Well, that's not good. It's not good at all.
What are you sensing from this strange wall of smoke, friend?
Nothing good. It feels almost like a shadow in the back of my mind. It's not welcoming. I'd say we keep moving.
As this is a wall of smoke, should we then head left or right and follow it along and see if it makes break anywhere?
I think that's the probably the correct call. I've been mapping as we've gone in case we need to backtrack, but if this is magic in origin, there's no guarantee that what we had behind us is still there.
Well, we know from the back of us, from my markers, we can get back to the door. Should we head left or right then?
My method for dungeons is always to take the right.
Sounds like a good call. Let us move right then and follow this wall of smoke. And Eric marks the trail there.
As Eric marks the trail and you guys take going down the wall on the right side. So as you're walking in that direction, the wall would technically be on your left. You seem to walk through the snow again for a like undiscerning amount of time and travel. I'll say like all in all, you probably hike another mile until you see this wall come to a point and then veer right.
Almost like a corner in a wall.
Yes, exactly like that. It's a corner, like a corner.
We're still in a room.
I think you're right, my friend. I think this is just another room with a fancy illusion. Let me see. I think I might have something. Would this be considered like arcane magic, like illusion, or are we being charmed?
Make an Arcana check.
All right, going for it. Low intelligence, bird brain, go! Aha, an 8.
You can kind of sense the same things that Ren and Ahti were sensing, that you're not entirely sure what type of magic this is, but it feels like it is being summoned from something dark.
I don't know, friends. I know this smoke is definitely something not good. Do we dare try to penetrate it? Or do we go back to the door? Either way, I feel like The only way out is through.
And at this time, something changes. You can hear what sounds like just a soft gust of wind come rustling through the trees. Ahti, you're the only one that hears this, but as you hear this gust of wind going through the trees, you hear a voice kind of call out from the distance. And it says, "The mist." And it just fades off into the trees.
Ren looks up, kind of looks around a little bit at everybody, and then looks back at the smoke and kind of squints for a second, and then waddles over to it to stick her hand in it.
Okay, what is everybody else doing?
Waiting to see what happens to her hand.
Same.
I've seen this movie.
I'm sorry, Ren. Can you tell me what you were doing again? I was busy reading somebody's backstory.
Ren just kind of looked at the mist after hearing what was said and didn't say anything, but kind of looked at everybody, like trying to see if she was being watched, but not really paying attention, and then quickly waddles on over to the wall and sticks her hand in it to see what happens.
Look what I can do.
Pretty much.
Ren, as you stick your hand through the wall, it is cold in temperature and almost feels like I don't want to say like, I guess it would kind of feel like you're trying to stick your hand through a wall of cotton balls. As like as you stick your hand through it and you kind of wiggle it in the air. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, you that's some sweet bippy. Oh, you play with fire.
This is what happens when the child gets to come out.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh no!
Ren, you feel something take your hand,
Ooh.
and with
What
a
did I do?
hard jerk, pulls the rest of your arm and a good portion of your upper body into the smoke. Would anybody like to react to this and do something?
Zuki quickly tries to grab Ren.
Okay, make a do either acrobatics or athletics and see if you can get there in time.
Acrobatics is nice.
Yeah.
Go, fluffy butt.
Tabaxi acrobatics. 26.
Hey.
Yeah, and your feline instincts just kick in, and you are instantly all paws to the floor, rushing over to Ren. And as you can see the upper portion of Ren's torso start to disappear into the smoke, you're able to grab on to an ankle and hold on to Ren. I need to know what Arik and Ahti are doing during all of this.
Zuki
Ahti would
screams,
also be trying to help pull little Ren back. In the back of his head, he's also trying to figure out if the voice he heard was just him, and whether or not it was actually calling out to him, or if it was just mentioning the mist in general.
Eric.
Ahti, make a strength check.
A nat 20, but with my modifier, it's a 19.
No, that's awesome though. So, as you see Zuki spring into action, you are able to go over there and hold on to Suzuki as well and start pulling backwards with your strength. All right, Arik, go ahead and tell me what you're doing.
So Ahti has a hold of Zuki. Zuki has Ren.
Yeah.
Eric then grabs Ahti as well and pulls back, and at the same time just beats his massive wings to just kind of give more pressure, to just extra pull.
Make me a strength check, please.
Do 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 do.
I feel like Ren's gonna lose an arm.
Got a 17.
You guys are starting to pull on Ren hard, and Ren is starting to move backwards back out of the mist. And soon, it's not very long before you have most of Ren out of the mist. Their head is now exposed, but both arms are still being clung onto, and something does appear to be fighting back. Ren, while you were inside of the smoke, all you saw inside of there was just pure blackness, pitch black, and whatever it was that grabbed a hold of you, all you could discern were the brightest blood red glowing eyes that you have ever seen. And gives another quick jerk as it's trying to pull Ren back into the smoke. Ren, how are you reacting to all of this?
Ren has had their little feet kicking the entire time, just absolutely freaking out, losing their mind. And when their head comes back out of the smoke, it is the voice of the little girl just shrieking in terror from this. It was clear that whatever she saw was too much for this part of Ren. She's just screaming still and whimpering and just all out panic, but also trying not to make her friends lose grip, because don't let go, this is scary.
Okay. Zuki, we're gonna move back down the line. Like, Zuki, what are you doing? Because you now have a screaming, shrieking Ren who seems to be doing nothing to aid you guys in getting her and getting them out, except for just screaming their head off.
You're gonna scream or yell back at the group and stuff. Come on, everybody, pull! We're not gonna lose another one.
Zuki, make a strength check.
Six.
And you put all of your effort into pulling. You don't seem to really budge Ren anymore, but you are holding on grip very well. Ahti, you're next in line holding on to Zuki. What are you doing?
Ahti would also continue pulling and then be listening to see if he hears anything from the voice again as he's doing this. But most of his focus would be on pulling the group out of the mist.
All right, go ahead and make another strength check. And as you're pulling on Zuki, as you're pulling with that roll, as you're pulling on Zuki, you don't seem to be doing anything more. You seem to be distracted as you're trying to listen around for any other noise, and you do hear that same whispery voice float past your ear, and all you hear is the words, "I know you're the mist," as it just trails off again. Arik, you're next. You're holding on to Ahti, Ren has not seemed to budge any further. What are you doing?
What was it the voice said?
So only Ahti could hear it, but it said, "I know that you're the mist."
Okay. Man, what do we do here? I'm like torn. I have like 2 ideas, and I'm just wondering which one's gonna work. um, would it be possible to use lightning lure to wrap around a tree and give us some extra pull?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Would it be possible to use lightning lure, which is a cantrip, to grab onto a tree for extra pull?
Let me
Because I have the
read that
ability
real
to
quick.
pull something up to 10 feet in a straight line toward me. But it is an attack move, and it says strike at a creature, so I'm not sure if it'd work.
So then I would say, like, I'll allow it for because that's actually kind of badass. So like for cool, I'll allow it to happen, but instead, like, I'll have you roll to as if like you were like casting it instead of
Yeah.
using it as an attack.
So like it being an attack, I'd have to get higher than a 14, right?
Yes. But because it's a cantrip, instead of having you roll strength, um, do
Dexterity?
wisdom? Question mark.
Wisdom? Might be wisdom, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Do roll. Just make a wisdom roll. And just try to, and you'll just have to beat a 14.
Oh, 15.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, kitty, go over there.
So how does it look as you cast this?
So I've got my arms under Ahti's arms, like under his underarms, and I've got him rolled up against me. I'm beating my wings furiously, just trying to pull back with my talons in the ground to just kind of gain purchase and get an inch. And I realize that we're just not getting any further. So I turn my body enough to get a good secure grip on him, put my hand over his opposite shoulder, and I reach back and I look and I see a really strong, good, like pine tree about 7 feet away, 10 feet away, and I whip lightning lure out. A streak of lightning just shoots out from my talon claw, wraps around the tree, and I give a huge yank, and the arcanic magic just surges through my arm and gives one nice good heave.
And with that, you do see Ren start to move more out. Presumably, they're probably screaming even more, like being stretched, basically. And Arik, like, you give that one last like good oomph with the lightning lure, and Ren comes free from the smoke. You all fall backwards as you all pile into each other. You look back at the wall. You see this dark spectral hand just slowly disappear back into the mist.
Note to
Zuki,
self,
fire an
everybody.
arrow.
As Ren comes out and tumbles into the snow and kind of rolls over, very very like all of the combat prowess that they had before is gone, and they just kind of lay there for a second. The screaming stops, and then they slowly stand up, look around, and then go huddle in the middle of the group, hiding more than likely, if it's low enough, underneath Arik's wing, just kind of like cowering away from the smoke.
Oh. Ulrich puts the wings around Ren and just kind of crouches down with them and stares at the dark hand that just slinks back into the smoke.
With what Eric's comment was, Zuki will pull out his longbow and take a shot in if the hand hasn't fully retreated in that general vicinity.
As you take your shot, all you notice is that the arrow just swoof right into the smoke, and nothing seems to happen past that.
Okay.
Worth the effort. Worth
It
it.
was pretty much kind of like a just reaction attack type
Right,
thing.
right.
It's like,
Like I
"It's
imagine as we
there!"
all fell back, Zuki kind of backflips, immediately pulls his bow and just lets it go, you know?
Right? Kind of like a reaction, stay out.
Bad.
A tiny voice from under the wings, and you go away, mister.
Well, that was an experience. Eric looks down at Ren, lifts his wings a little. Ren, are you okay? Are you hurt? Are you injured?
Yeah. I'm good. The
Cigar
kid
in
made a
mouth.
bad decision. I'm just saying that was not good. Not good.
Just for the record, I decided she was gonna do that well before I found out the voice was just going to Ahti. I didn't do it on purpose.
Ahti would be kind of deep in thought as he mentions this room knows things that it shouldn't. A voice has been calling out by the code name I had when I was in the Navy. And only members of my naval party referred to me by that name, the Mist.
Oh, that is ominous, my good friend. For what is this but a wall of mist and smoke? And it spoke directly to you, it knew your name?
Unsettlingly so.
This is dark times indeed, my good friends. Black skies indeed.
At least we can all agree, do not touch the wall.
Wall.
Wall bad.
At this moment, you notice that the wall has moved just a little closer to you. Both sides of that corner. And it's starting to creep forward even more and more. It seems to be closing in on you. I need to know what your quick reaction to this is.
To the door!
Zuki's gonna be screaming like, "Oh hell no!" and get to his feet.
Eric puts Ren on his shoulders, flips his wings out, and just kind of takes to the air a bit in the opposite direction of the wall towards the door.
Ahti would follow.
Same with Zuki.
I want everybody to make athletics checks.
Ooh.
I like those numbers.
I like those numbers.
21 for Ahti.
25 for Zuki.
Oh man.
9. We are not in it today.
21 for Eric.
Well, technically, Ren should be perfectly fine because
She's with Eric,
Carrie.
Yeah.
So it's a combined
Really
athletics.
Carrie.
You ain't going no way.
Fly, bird brain, fly.
Right?
Okay, because all I see on my screen is I've got an athletics check for Arik at 21 and Ren at 9. What were everybody else's athletics?
Ahti got 21 and Zuki got 25.
Okay, perfect. You guys take off running, and Ark, you take off with Ren just fine. As you quickly turn hightail and run back in the opposite direction that you came into the woods. The smoke is coming up. It is closing in on you. You guys run for probably a good, I'm gonna say like a good 100 feet before you notice that the smoke has stopped in closing in on you. As you kind of come to a halt from your run and your fly, and you turn and you face it, you can see that it has indeed halted and is no longer moving.
It appears wherever they want us to go is towards the center of the room.
I agree. This is very odd.
Well, we could continue on our way towards the door, but I don't even know if the door is the center of the room. Should we go the opposite way we came, back towards the door, and go the other way?
Are we still in view of the markers that were put up? Can we still see the trail back to the door?
So where you guys were as it came in on you, the ones that you would have placed as you're walking along, the edge line of the smoke, you wouldn't be able to see, but you can see at least where you started placing them, on that first initial walk.
I would say it's probably best then that we head in that general direction, because that's got to be close to the middle. If the wall has stopped, it's got us where it wants us.
Could we tell? Because we sort of see our path from where the door was, but we were at the corner and we saw it collapsing. And could we tell that if from where the corner is to where the door sort of is, does that seem like it's the middle? Or does it seem too far off to the side?
Right now, I'm going to say that you really haven't, it would be hard to really discern on if the door was the middle of the forest or if it was just a random spot.
Okay.
And because so far you've only really gone one direction. So at this point, it's hard to really, for the characters at least, to discern, as you took off in one direction from the door, where that relatively was in the map.
Okay.
Because for all you guys know right now, you could have started in a corner.
I guess the best path forward is any other direction than the one we've gone.
So we went straight from the door, hit the wall, took a right, followed along for a mile. Now we've run from it in the general direction where the door is. So at this point, should we turn more to the left and head more inward of the forest?
I'd say that's our only option. Seems like the smoke's coming for us, and frankly, it's on the other side of that wall is frankly horrifying.
Would it be possible to roll perception or something to see what the best path might be?
Yeah, I'll let you guys do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh, yeah.
Good bird brain.
So with those rolls, I'll say that from kind of looking around, knowing where you've already kind of been and haven't, it might seem like your best choice would be to head back in the direction of the door, and then kind of make a decision from there.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's head back towards the door and see if we can't maybe get a better idea of where we need to go from here. Perhaps we check and see if the door is still open, if we can even go back.
Okay.
So
Everybody
Eric,
okay with this plan?
Yeah.
okay. So Eric lands with Ren on his shoulders. Ren, of course, is welcome to stay on my shoulders, but we continue to make our way towards the door.
It doesn't take you guys long to find the markers that you left behind, which you follow it back in the direction that you came. You seem to walk the same distance that you traveled before. And as you get back, don't tell me 20%, shut up. As you get back towards where you originally started, you do see that the door is still there. The area seems to be the same, and you can still see the footprints that you all left in the snow when you left.
Sorry. So we have made our way to the door.
Yes, you're back at the door. Nothing seems to have changed, and you can still see your footprints in the snow.
Eric approaches the door and tries to reopen it. He wants to see if it's unlocked.
You reach up, and you grab the door handle, and you swing the door open into the darkness. As you're eyes kind of adjust to the light in that room, you can see the room that was originally there.
Okay. So we can make our way back if needed. What say all of you? Should we try another direction, perhaps opposite of the way we went on the other side of the door, or should we make our way back in and try to see if we can maneuver back through the treasure? I can't say what will happen with that, but at this point, it's either deal with the smoke or go back.
Well, from the distance we've traveled, it seems like we have a little bit of time to where we don't have to worry about the smoke. If we go back to the treasure room, who knows what lies there? For now, we at least know the rules of this room.
Indeed. Should we explore this room some more?
I would think so. The treasure room had filled up to part of the stairs by the time we had left. So unless it is magically receded, it would be very dangerous to head into that room.
Agreed.
So you all are going to go into the room?
No, we're going to close the door and we're going to go the opposite direction of when we first exited the door. So basically the other side of the door, and we're going to head out from there straight on.
Okay. And I'm going to assume that you're going to be leaving the same markers as you go along?
Yes.
Stupid freaking elm seed bugs. Oh my god.
Or should we use a different type of marker at this point, so that way we're not confused as to which?
If you want to change up your markers so you know which direction you went, we can take note of that and say that you guys did that.
Like perhaps if someone has a dagger, they might carve a notch into the tree and an arrow of what direction we're headed.
Ren
Yeah,
just
I will let
their rapier and just quickly slashes an R into an oak. This shall be our marker.
Nice.
Ren, as you do that, you hear it's almost as if as you do that, the tree groans.
I don't like trees groaning.
Excuse me, baking powder.
Good sir. Are you? You just see Ren look up. Are you alive? Are you not just a simpleton tree?
A simpleton tree.
For
The tree is insulted.
for the rest of the party, you see Ren talking up at the tree that it just slashed. However, it does not seem to be giving a response back.
Eric says out loud as he turns to no one in particular, and I thought I was the only one who talked to no one, brother.
Suki responds,
Hey,
Well,
you
they
never
did seem
alone in
something.
your mind.
Wait, I missed that, Ren. What did you say?
I said, hey, you're never alone in your mind.
Ni- exactly. And Zuki, what did you say?
I was just saying, well, they did see something probably really devastating in the mist.
Right. Wherever you are, there you are.
Unfortunately, we've been broken a lot longer than that, but I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Can we do Arcana check on the tree?
I mean, if you so wish.
Hey, we go
Magic,
find out today.
magic,
Simpleton.
magic tree, magic tree.
Nat 20.
It's
It's
the
just a
Ents.
normal tree.
It's a 15.
I got a 21.
Appears to be a fucking tree.
Or are we in the belly of some beast
That grows wood.
and smoke?
So
Smoke with hands.
If
You're
Smokey the Bear
not-
pops out, I'm going to scream.
you're not sure how or why, but it appears that this tree and possibly many others are like magically being forced to feel.
Magically forced to feel.
That's fucked up.
Eric begins to rub the wood.
Take long.
Hold on, I need to make a roll because I'm gonna let the dice
My
decide.
wife literally just looked at me and went, "What the fuck?" Oh my god.
As you're rubbing the trunk of this tree, you hear like I'm more like you know how like sometimes when trees like move, the wood like squeaks. Like
Ah.
that's what you start to hear, and it seems to get like the more you rub on this trunk, the louder and faster that wood squeak appears to become.
Like a bit of a creaking.
Leaky wood.
Oh no.
That's right, buddy. Take it all in.
This is getting bad.
Ren kind of looks down and is covers their ears. Don't do that when the kids are around, man. And kind of climbs down, backing away from the situation.
Oh god.
The tree, as far as you can tell, this seems pretty pleasurable to the tree. Congratulations for tricking off a tree.
Everything I've ever hoped for. Oh man.
You thought tree huggers were just tree huggers? No.
Right?
Oh, right, you're tree fuckers. Okay.
Eric lights a cigarette. Was it good for you?
You hear the tree just like as it drops a couple like pine cones out of the top.
Eric puts those in his bag. Oh God.
God.
As
He's
you,
a kidnapper, folks.
as you guys start to like realize like, oh, maybe there was a task at hand and continue on your journey, Ren, are you going to continue to carve your initials into these trees?
No. What we'll do is Ren. Wait, where is sorry? Something very particular.
Oh my god, I just saw the chat. Oh, gee,
Oh,
that killed me.
No,
Oh no.
no! I saw the dancing flowers. I was like, that's pretty good. No. We're gonna.
the tree just got really excited, guys.
I am one with nature.
Ren. Okay, Ren's gonna pull this big, odd-looking jug from their back and pop a cork from the side, similar to the one they were drinking in the tavern before they left town. And you just see this black oil start spewing from the little hole from the cork he removed, and he's just gonna write his initials on the trees, no longer marking them.
Okay, I was a little lost at where you're going with that because as you were describing like the fluid, I was still staring at this freaking tree hussy just leaking its fluids.
They just need a
Oh.
little lube, guys. It's fine.
You know, essentially, because he cut the tree, I was just apologizing to the tree. That's all.
That's that's one hell of a way to say sorry. I wish more people would do that. As you get okay, I gotta close the chat because I can't. Ooh. Okay. So as you guys move along in your new direction with Ren painting the trees instead of causing them like literal physical pain.
Oh, a pleasure.
You head off, and I'll say like for a good like 10 minutes you walk. You feel the snow crunching underneath your feet. You haven't come up on anything yet. Ahti, you can hear that similar sound that you've been hearing, that breeze coming through the trees. And as it comes, it almost feels like it passes directly in front of your face. And it says in a female voice, "I'm over here." As it passes in front of your face from right to left and then darts into the trees.
T would call this out to the group. It appears whatever entity is here wants us to go to the left.
What do you guys do? Do you go to the left or do you keep going the direction you were going?
Eric looks at Ahti and goes, you heard the voice again?
Yes.
Clearly we're being led. I say we do it. We follow to the left and see what we find.
I'd say we keep our guard up. I don't think hearing a voice in your head is always a good idea to always listen to.
Eric bristles his feathers a little. And pulls out his spear so that he's ready.
We shall be ready for whatever comes as Ren plops his shield out, just at the ready.
I think it's funny that the guy that has several voices And then the bird that hears voices are like, yeah, bad voices ain't a good thing.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Are you guys continuing, or are you stopping?
We're going left.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're
Following
gonna
the
go left.
voice.
We're gonna follow the voice.
I would like to
Everybody's
say,
on edge, though. Prep for battle.
Yep.
Right. As you make your way left and you start heading into that direction of the trees, Ati, you can hear it again. This time coming from your right, but it calls your name. It says, Ati, Ati, I'm over here.
Ati would continue to follow the voice.
As everybody watches as Ati just turns, do all of you follow him and turn with him?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. As you turn and you follow Ati, you hear it again, but it's still leading you in that direction that it just took you. It just seems a little bit deeper into the trees, almost as if something's calling out from you from behind the tree. And it says again, Ati, Ati, my love, I'm over here. Do you keep following?
Yes. But definitely more agitated than he would have been to begin with.
As you guys go deeper into the woods, Ati, like you keep hearing it leading you in that direction. Every time that you hear it and you think, oh, that should be closer now, it seems to be deeper into the woods. And it keeps saying the same thing over and over. Ati, Ati, my love, I'm over here. After walking for quite some time following this voice, you come into a clearing in the trees. What appears to be just like a big circular field in this clearing. And standing in the middle of this field, Ati, and as everybody else comes into view, Ati, you see a woman standing there. She appears to resemble the love of your life. She says it again, and she's waving, Ati, Ati, come here. I'm over here.
Who are you?
She shouts back, Ati, silly, my love, come here.
That's bait.
Does the rest of the party see this person as well?
At this point, yes, you guys can see her, and you are starting to hear her as well.
Zuki's gonna tell everybody, it's like, that's bait.
Indeed, my friend. Someone who calls to our friend and now they are here. Eric also looks out and yells, identify yourself.
I would like to
She seems-
roll. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, she seems to pay no attention to you, Ark. In fact, she continues to say it over and over. Ati, my love, you know me. Come here.
Eric says to Ati, who is this woman? Do you know her?
I did. Over 50 years ago.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who is she?
She was the love of my life. But we were separated when I joined the Navy. We agreed that with how long I'd be out at sea, that it would be best for her and I to both move on in our separate ways.
It would seem from your agitated state, my friend, that you do not think that this is the same woman.
Well, the only way she would be here is if she got trapped in the same cult game that we did. So-
T, I'm gonna say that you notice that she looks the same as you last saw her 50 years ago.
It would also mean she hasn't aged a day since I last saw her.
Ren
You can
kind
see that she's taken a couple steps forward in the snow. Not much, just like 2 or 3 steps as kind of like a gesture as she says, like, Ati, come here. Baby, there's something I want to show you.
Does she leave footprints?
She does.
Ren squints and kind of tilts their head at her, like, interesting.
Ati, you said you wanted to roll something?
I was gonna see if I could roll an insight to determine the true intentions of whatever this creature is in front of us.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was 11.
As far as the intentions that you're giving off, whatever or whoever this person is, it does seem like she wants you to go over there. The true intention behind the nature and why she wants you to go over there is still unclear. It doesn't necessarily feel super welcoming.
T would turn to the rest of the group. I think we've all determined that this is indeed a trap. All that's left is to spring it. Kind of implying that he's going to move forward with them to keep their distance so that they're not pulled in if this doesn't go very well.
Ati, friend, I would say that this is aimed at you. So we of course allow you to make the first move, or if you like, we can attack for you. But it is clearly being aimed at you, my good friend.
Ati would nod and then walk towards what appears to be his lost love that he's clearly aware cannot be her.
How close do you want to move? Right now, I'll say she's probably a good 30 feet away from you.
We'll say he'll go the 20.
20?
Yeah.
Okay, you can keep a good 10-foot distance between her.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, how closely are you going to follow? Like, are you going to be like a couple feet behind Ati? Are you spreading out? Like, how's the rest of the party going about this?
I think we should spread out a bit, especially anyone with range. And I will, with my spear, fly up a few feet and stick close to Ati, kind of just a bit above him and behind.
And as you guys are spreading out and keeping a little bit of distance away from Ati, but close enough that you can be ready. Ati, as you get closer to her, you're now 10 feet away from her. You can see that it appears like she has not aged at all. She looks exactly as you remember her. She stares blankly back at you. This is Ati. Where have you been? It's been so long. I missed you.
You know exactly where I've been with the Navy. To me, it appears you only know partial truths. So who are you really?
She kind of tilts her head. She looks around. She looks back at you and she says, Ati, your friends are kind of scaring me. Why? I thought you would be happy to see me.
I would be happy to see the real you, not whatever this recreation from my memory of you is.
And you see her kind of, like, she kind of twitches. And she looks down at the snow. Her hair kind of falling off of her shoulders, covering her face a bit. You hear her start to laugh. She laughs and she puts her hands up to her face and says, Ahti, you want to see the real me? Oh, Ahti. I'm not as gullible as I thought you would be. As you see her body start to kind of contort and grow a couple of inches in height as her skin starts to fade color into more of a like reddish color as she sprouts giant wings from her back. Horns start to protrude from her forehead, and you see a long, like, pitchfork tail start to protrude from her backside. She goes, I've been waiting for you. You're gonna be so delicious. And this is where we're gonna end tonight.